everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is your girl IzIz Nya. Today's video is going to be a full in-depth video on how I sew my wigs. This was a very highly requested video. I figured that I wanted to do something a little bit like talking and explaining a little bit about it. I'm a very horrible explainer, okay, because this was pretty much the second time I've done this and I felt confident enough to make a video on it. But I'm going to show you guys some tips and tricks on how to sew your first wig. It's not that difficult. It's very beginner friendly. As I said before, this is literally in the video is the second time that I've sewed my wig. Now, a huge thing that I wanted to say too, I have sewn, if I make my wigs from before I started sewing them, I used to sew my closures and then I would just glue the tracks. I haven't completely like sat down and sewn a wig. So voiceover and let you guys know like some tips and tricks on what you can do to have a successful wig if you are a beginner. This is definitely beginner friendly, okay? So again, if you guys are interested, please continue to watch and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and please turn on your notification bell so you know when you're getting a notification from moi. And without any further ado, let's get into the video and I'll see you guys later. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of explain a little bit what I did to this head right here. So as you guys can see, this is a brown cap. I couldn't find a black one in the beauty supply store because they were sold out and all the black ones were big. But you want to get a dome cap, something like this, where it has the material and everything on it. You get brown, you get whatever color you want. I would typically, if you're going to do black hair, I would typically stick to the dark colors like black or maybe even brown. Brown you could get away with. If you're doing a color like this one, I think you should get something that is on the blonder side, so that way everything blends together really nicely. Unfortunately for this wig, I didn't get a chance to do it because I couldn't find anything, and also use some white thread also, or like the blondish type of thread if you're doing this color. So right now I have made some lines and I have, let me see if it'll come off. Okay, so I made some lines on the wig to help me with the guiding, and I think this is very beginner friendly because a lot of times, you know, we just want to start sewing and we want to have some guidelines and we want to just have something to help us out. So this was the best thing to help me in terms of that, so that's what I did. Also, I sewed the closure down already because I just wanted to kind of show you guys the stitching technique method that I use. And I also stitched half of the wig already as it is. So I also another thing that you want to get, like I feel like this is something that's super important when you are making your wigs, is start getting some T-pins so they can hold each side of the weft so it's easy to sew. So I'm going to show you. So I use a needle like this and you use some weaving thread. Let me actually show you guys the weaving thread that I bought. It comes like this. If they have some smaller ones, you can get it for like $1. This was $2.49 because I'm going to be using it a lot more often than usual. And I put it together and started sewing. So I literally go underneath, right, and come up, and I literally just wrap it around and then pull it through. And that's how you do your basic stitch. I think it's called the, I'll have it listed down below in the description box. I forgot what kind of stitching it's called, but it's basically, it's really good technique to use, and I feel like it looks a lot neater, especially if you're going underneath the weft. I think underneath the weft is better for me. So I go underneath here and pull it. So now that this is the way that it is, I'm going to show you guys what I do, because if I keep doing it, I'm going to stab myself and I don't want to do that at all. So I just cut at least a little bit more than half off, and I have this left. I go ahead and tie it 3 times. I tie it in a knot 3 times. So that's 1, 2, 3. So I tied it 3 times, and I just take the scissor and I cut off the remaining part, and that's how you do it. So I'm going to show you guys on the next weft how I set everything up, you know, for everything to be brand new, so I can get started on the next situation. And I also cut my wefts because I haven't been able to do the flip method. Like I said, this is really beginner friendly. So I would definitely suggest, if you're a beginner, don't fold the wefts unless you think you know what you're doing and it's nice and flat. This is the flattest that I could get it because I don't want any bumps or anything like that. So yeah, if you think you can do it, go for it. Oh, it's stuck in my mouth. If you want to do it, go for it. But if you don't know what's going on, or you're just, you know, starting off, I would definitely suggest to cut the wefts, because I think it would just make it a lot easier on yourself, and it'll just make it flat. And I think it's just the safest way to do it. So all I'm doing right now is putting my needle, the thread through the needle, and I'm extending it. This is me extending it right now. And I try to make it long so I don't have to keep doing it, but because I'm such a beginner when it comes to this, I'm gonna have to keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And also another thing is, you wanna make sure that your thread is nice and smooth. Because if it's not nice and smooth, it's gonna be really hard to go through the hair. Once I feel like it's nice and smooth and it's long to my liking, I cut the thread. So I'm going to show you guys what it's looking like before I cut it. So it looks like this. Okay. I'm trying to make it as long as possible, because to me, I feel like this is what takes me the longest, is having to go back to this thread, do all the extra stuff and yada yada and all that other good stuff, blah blah blah. And I make sure that it's nice and even. Everything is nice and smooth. Everything is nice and crisp. There we go. So it's perfect. It's even. So now I tie it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. I feel like 3 is definitely where you definitely get more security. And then I'm just gonna finish up this weft right here. So I can hold it now. You can use the T-pin to hold it if you want to, but I really don't need the T-pin. And I'll just pull it like this. And see, the thing that I hate about the thread is it gets everywhere. I'm still like beginner, like I said, so I'm still learning. So I'm leaning like this, and I go underneath and I wrap it around, and then I pull it up. I actually may need the T-pin because I'm trying to show you guys like the technique. Do it again. Go under, over, pull across, just like that. And I'm going to do it one more time because there's still some thread. There's still a piece of weft that's hanging. Go over. This hair was not brushed out either. These were just some old bundles that I found that I wanted to make a wig out of. And I think I'm going to do one more just for security purposes. Okay, so I'm going to use a T-pin like this. I'm putting my mouth. Oh, I got to hold it. And this is the weft of hair. And I lay it just like this. I lay it with a line stop. I put it right there. And then on this side, I do the exact same thing. Now again, these lines are to help you guide. So you're gonna go through here, you wrap it just like that, and then pull it right through. Just like that. So you wanna pull under, wrap, pull through. So you pull under, wrap it, pull through. Pull under, wrap it, and pull through. Now you can go under the weft. I technically go under the weft because I just don't like going through it because I feel like it starts shedding a little bit more. That's just me. I mean, if you want to go through the weft, you definitely can. It's definitely your preference, but I just prefer not to do it that way. So let me see if I can get her to stay still. Hold on. See, it gets a little tangled sometimes. You just want to make sure that you're doing it correctly. That, under, pull through. Under, wrap around, pull through. I don't know, I just be coming up with all different types of little sayings to keep myself occupied. And I usually say it in my head, but for the sake of the video, I'm just showing y'all. You want to make sure you're wrapping from this side. You wrap it around, and then you make sure you pull through. You pull tight so it can stay. So this is what the stitching should look like. Let me see if I could. It's so hard to pull. Get your head out of here. So this is what the stitching should look like. Something like this. And with practice, it gets better. You just keep practicing and you'll get better with stitching. I'm gonna keep doing it and keep practicing and things like that because, like I said, practice makes perfect, and you get comfortable with the technique as you keep doing it over and over and over again. So I'm not going to say anything else. I'm going to just keep going and keep going. So I wanted to explain to you guys a little bit more about the cap construction and why I did the lines. So I did the lines about 1 inch apart, or finger length. Like, if you really want to get technical, you can do finger length. But you just want to make sure that they're spaced out enough where there's enough space for the wefts to breathe. But like I said, just put your finger 1 inch apart, and that should be enough space. Now, I've been doing wigs for a while as far as with gluing them, so I kind of was able to just draw out the lines the way I wanted to. But, you know, if you're starting off, just make sure you're doing them a finger apart. I think a finger apart is probably like 1 inch, maybe a 1/2 inch. But make sure they're about 1 inch, 1/2 inch apart, so they can just have some room to kind of lay together. And I guess that's like the best technique for a nice flat wig. So I'm gonna just let you watch the rest of the video and I hope this is helpful. Hey everybody, so this is literally the final look of the entire wig. So I wanted you guys to see the closure and the bundles. So these bundles are from Big Old Bundles, and I bought this closure from the beauty supply store. I believe it's a Janet, I'm not too sure, but if I can find it, I will have it listed down below in the description box. But let me talk a little bit about this wig, because this wig was kind of a little bit of a struggle, and I'm gonna tell you why right now. So I'm not gonna say the wig, let's talk about the closure. The closure was extremely small, like it was probably like about that wide, maybe like that, and then like this. So originally I wanted to go for a middle part, but I was like, this is not gonna be big enough to do the middle part that I want. So I had to do some plucking, very, very little, not too much. I had to pluck a little bit over here. And some products that I did use so that way I didn't have to bleach the knots, because I feel like the bleaching the knots was really unnecessary because it was so small, like the closure was so small. So I used this is the Ebon New York tinted lace, and this is in the shade medium brown. I could have went a little bit lighter if I wanted to, but this is what I used, and I used a little bit of mineral powder. That's my skin complexion, just to intensify it just a little bit more, because this worked really, really good. Like I really like it and I love the smell of it, but just to intensify it a little bit more, because I was wearing makeup, I just added a little bit of mineral powder just to intensify it a little bit. But I really love it as a side part. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you, like I really love this as a side part. I didn't think that this wig was going to get as flat as I wanted it to be, so what I did was I just added some curls. I do plan to straighten it because I would love to see how it is when it's straightened. But these bundles are beautiful. They're very, very pretty. I've worked with Big Old Bundles before, like not really worked with them, but I've bought bundles from them before, so I'm really familiar with the brand and the company in terms of that. And then to glue down my actual wig, I used the Ebon Wonder Lace Bond. Oh my god, and I got the extra mega hold. This stuff right here, okay, this stuff right here is the bomb diggity. Like, sis ain't going nowhere for a while. Like, I'm gonna have to rock this wig out for a while, so I think I'm gonna go to the beauty supply store to go and get a satin bonnet, because she ain't going nowhere for a while. So all you have to do is just add very little. I wouldn't even say use 2 layers. I would say do one nice thin, not even thin, I would say a nice real thick layer. Just spread it across very evenly. Make sure that it's nice and sticky. Don't put your hands on it, because I had a hard time getting it off. If you want to get this stuff off, I would recommend maybe some alcohol or some hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer works good, especially the one that is 99.9% effective. That one is good. And it slips right off, but this stuff is amazing. I don't know how I'm getting it off of my head, and I'm not even gonna lie to you, I don't know, but I will say that this stuff is the bomb. Like, if you want your wig to stay on for, I would say, like, maybe it's 5 to 7 days, boom. But as far as making this wig, I wanted to make it very beginner friendly because this is the second time me actually sewing an entire wig by myself. And it wasn't that bad. Like, it was pretty straightforward, pretty easy. I definitely enjoyed it. It was very therapeutic for me. So I feel like anybody could do it. You just have to try to do it. You just have to try to invest yourself in doing it. I mean, it's really not that bad once you kind of learn like the sewing techniques and stuff. And I honestly don't even feel like I'm going to even be gluing my wigs anymore. As far as the wefts, like the actual tracks, I don't think I'll be gluing anymore. I think I'll be sewing, because sewing to me is a lot better because I'm a brusher when it comes to my hair. Like, I'm constantly brushing my hair, and no one wants to brush their hair in the middle of the street. I'm one of those people that like to brush my hair in the middle of the street. If I feel like I need to brush my hair, I'm brushing my hair, and nobody needs to brush that and see a track just hanging. Like, that has happened to me too many times, and I don't even want that to happen to me again. So anywho, I just put some wand curls in it and fluffed it up because I wanted it to be nice and fluffy and beautiful and pretty. And I really love the side part. When I get this glue off my head, which I don't even know when I'm going to be able to do that, I'm going to shift it over to the side a little bit so the side part could get a little bit deeper, because I do want it to be a little bit deeper. But I love it. I love it. I love it. I love this wig. I love the way that it came out. I was definitely struggling in the beginning because I didn't know how this part was going to come out, but I am super obsessed with it. And I think that is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you want to see from me. And I will see you guys on the next upload.